Hello, y'all. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your host, Denise and Simone here. Um, Welcome to the third episode. That's crazy. Um, Before we get started, I want to thank those who have been sticking by because these past couple weeks have just been hectic, and especially on my end. And I kind of wanted to get this out there before we start everything today and introducing our guests. Personal reasons, life happens, and I'm back in a better state now than where I was a couple weeks ago, and kind of needed that time away from everything was really, really needed because it got really, really bad. And so just wanted to, come out and say sorry and everything like that for these past couple weeks where it's just we've had things scheduled and then things had to be backed up because of life things happening, and just a message out there is just honestly just live your life the way that you want to because life is too short. Don't take life for granted and just enjoy every single moment, even if you feel like it's just not your day. Just know that every morning that you wake up, it's already a blessing in itself. And so I wanted to say that before getting started with the episode and everything like that. But we are very excited for this episode and our special guest today, because today we have Amy. Let's go! We're so excited to have you on this episode today. We have a lot. We have a lot today.
Yeah, and I'm thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so happy that you guys, and I feel very honored that you asked me to come. I'm very excited about this.
Aw, of course,
Well,
of
we're really,
course.
really happy to have you.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. No need to thank us. But we're going to jump into what you all come here to hear, unless you cut the drama. You might want to skip later in the show. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we are going to start off with everyone's favorite part of the show, listening to the special guest's army journey and story. So, Amy, you have the floor.
Yep.
Please let us know how you became an army.
Yeah, for the people that might not know me, by the way, my name is Amy. I'm 25 years old. I come from the Netherlands, and my journey of becoming an army started like a year or so ago, maybe a little bit more than a year. Um, I heard about BTS before, and I actually heard like different songs of them before, but never really took the time to really investigate the members or anything in particular because I'm a very weird person. If it has to do with like big brands or stuff that people really want to listen to, I'm always a little bit like stubborn, and I'm like, nah, not gonna listen to that. It must not be worth it. And but then quarantine happens. Like
Right.
everybody else in the world, quarantine happens, and I was in a very dark place in my life. I had the opportunity to still have a job, so I was very grateful about that. But my days would go work, eat, sleep. And I was just getting myself in a very dark place mentally. And then I somehow got on YouTube and I wanted to see some videos. And I saw a recommendation video for Microcosmos. And I thought to myself, let's see what the fuss is all about. Like everybody wants to be BTS fans. Let's go. I just want to see what's happening with this band.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard the song, and it's gonna sound so cliche, but I was like sold instantly. I was like, okay, don't know what you're saying, but it sounds so magical, so beautiful. I really want to know more. And um, I don't have a bias, like I'm like very OT7, but I have to admit the first member that really caught my eye was the beautiful Kim Taeyeon. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, he is so gorgeous. I really need to know who he is, like right this second.
Yeah.
So I Googled them, read some articles about them, started listening to more of their music, and I was just sold right away. Like, okay, this is a band that not only wants to make music, but also has a very good story behind it. And yeah, this so that was like really the beginning of my army journey, like just seeing a recommendation on YouTube, watching it and being sold instantly.
Right. It's also the little things like that that get you so hooked. So it's just like, thank you, YouTube recommendation for that, because I would not be
Yeah,
here.
yeah, but that's what happened. I was really like I didn't know why I got that recommendation because it was from the Jimmy Fallon show, and I don't really watch his show or any content that has to do with Jimmy Fallon on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, let's go.
Right.
YouTube
Right.
is so weird, but so magical because I found them through a recommendation too.
Oh
Oh, really?
wow.
Yeah, like Dynamite magically appeared on my YouTube recommendation, and I have no clue why. I've never listened to them, didn't know who they were. They just popped up on my timeline.
Oh, but that's great. But thank you, YouTube.
Honestly,
Right,
thanks YouTube. You're the goat. Haha.
right.
Yeah, but for real.
It's so shocking, but I feel like a lot of people are really thankful for that moment because a lot of us have discovered the most random songs, whether it was DNA or Mic Drop or Dynamite or anything. We just discovered them out of nowhere. It doesn't matter how, just
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And
wonderful. Also, for people who don't know, she has an Etsy shop, and she's
Eh.
gonna explain that to you now because you should definitely buy things from her. They're great.
Yes.
oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really working on restocking my store soon because I've almost run out of every bracelet that I have, so I really need to stock up again. But yes, I'm very excited about that. A really good friend of mine. Um, I don't know if people know her, but her name is Shania. And she also was a big army fan, and she lives in a city near me. So I actually had the opportunity to meet her, and we've been friends ever since. And but she converted fandoms a little bit. She is now a big fan of Stray Kids and also from Artis and like a lot of other bands. So
Mm-hmm.
she asked me like, how do you feel about just buying the bracelets for me and you just continue the store because I really think the store is a really great thing, but I just can't seem to find the time or am I like in the right place to sell them. So I was really grateful for that. I bought them from her and she is just the sweetest. I'm very honored that she trusted me with the shop and that things are going great. I had many sales already and so excited about the store.
Oh, I love that for you. I will also be putting the link in the description box for you guys to check out the shop as well. I saw some of the
Oh,
stuff too, and I was like, that looks really nice.
yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really incredible. I almost bought at least three things. I need to have self control, but I almost bought about three things. I might still buy things as either late Christmas presents. So when you restock, I'm there.
Facts.
Yeah, the thing is a little bit, I want to be very transparent about the shop. I don't make these bracelets myself. Like I buy them off sites like Wish or I don't know if you know this, but AliExpress.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I buy them from there for like a cheaper price, and I resell them like a little bit overpriced in the sense I pay €1.20 for one bracelet, and I will ask €2 for the bracelet. And so I want to be very transparent about that. So the the thing with these websites is you can buy things for really cheap, but they also take a long time to come. So if I would order now, I would be lucky if I have it in like the middle of January. So
Right.
it's a little bit difficult right now with when I'm can stock up again. The only thing I really can sell throughout the year is my little microcosmos painting. So that's the only thing that I can restock whenever I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Transparency
So
is always key. So it's good that you're letting people know what you can and cannot have as soon as possible, or how long it takes, and even the little paintings people really appreciate and love. So I think that's
yeah,
really
yeah, and I just want to be very, very honest about that because I could have told people that I made the bracelets myself, but I just don't. I tried to give credits to the people that actually made them, but it's impossible because thousands of people sell those bracelets, so I don't really know the person or persons that made them. And I told from the beginning when I took over the shop, I was like, I'm gonna use this money for future giveaways and stuff like that. So none of this money is actually gonna be mine.
Right.
So yeah, the sucky part about Etsy is that they can reserve payments. So I didn't get paid in like a month now, and I still have to wait like a few weeks before they pay me. So that sucks because now I have to do it from my own money, but it's okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I will get it back in the end.
That's amazing. So please go follow Amy. Watch out for future giveaways that she will be doing.
Mhm.
Buy from her Etsy shop. Just flood her with love and appreciation, and
Yes.
just act up in the comments. I
Oh,
gotta do.
thank you so much. Oh, that's so sweet of you guys. Really, thank you.
Not a problem. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you being here. So, now to the other point in the show that you guys come for. Not saying it's drama, but I do have a cup of tea near my bed right now.
And some food. And some food.
Yeah. So, what I am saying is, we are about to get to the point of the show where y'all may or may not agree with us, but just coming from a good place with these opinions. We're not here to stomp on anybody. We're not here to be mean or rude. But get it, get it.
Also,
So,
if we also see any sort of hate or rude, all any of those comments, they will be deleted. So that's just saying something. Please be respectful in the comments as well.
right, and a reminder: this is an LGBTQ friendly zone. Please not be rude to anybody for anything. Use proper pronouns. Nice. Please. No one's out here trying to be rude in any way on purpose. These are
Exactly.
just opinions, just having a conversation. That's
Yes.
all. So, the first topic, it's not even down in the note. We just all experienced it yesterday. In the future, this was November 23rd of 2021 for anybody listening to in the future. Grammy nominations came out. And boys got one. Now, I can't say that I'm mad. I'm frustrated and I'm mad because I don't feel like giving my anger to a show that genuinely does not deserve my energy anymore at this point.
Yeah.
Because who is giving this show energy anymore? They've been losing views for I don't know how long. So it's just mind-blowing. A group could work so hard for almost a decade and get nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Now, this isn't the first time artists have been given nothing, because there are plenty of, you can Google a list of artists who have received nothing from the Grammys, and they've worked hard their entire careers, even went to the grave not getting anything. But it's just weird.
And
yeah, I feel the same. I don't want to disrespect any artist that has been nominated, but it's just weird to me that one award show can award them with Artist of the Year, Song of the Year, and stuff like that, and then the other one is just Best Performance, Pop Duo. Okay, like it seems a little bit like a two-parted story. Like, how on earth does that work?
Yeah, like when I found that out, because I wasn't even watching the nomination thing, like I was like, I have no desire to. I'll find out through the timeline. And seeing them being like, nominated in the same category as this past Grammys, like, yeah, that's great because they're they're two-time Grammy, nominated. That's cool. I love that for them. But at the same time too, it's just like I'm not surprised because I know that they submitted to other categories and them just not getting it. And I'm just like, it's one thing where it's just like, yeah, they're a group and everything like that, but like they're also qualified for the other categories as well. They're not just solely based this award. You feel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many other things they could have given, but they are nominating them or choosing to nominate them for the English-speaking songs that they produce.
Yep.
Whether or not some people may not agree with that, and there are people outside the fandom, but they're choosing to throw them a bone, and I'm going to use that. Throw them a bone.
Yeah.
The English-speaking songs that they produce. They decided to kick the whole album B as a whole to the side over one nomination for a song. Disrespectful, rude, bullshit.
Literally.
And I really think that has, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I really think it has to do with it. Yeah, but it's American music and stuff like that, and they don't speak English and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay.
It's like there's this thing called you can look up the lyrics. It's literally not that fucking hard. Like
exactly, just use Google Translate and you know more than enough.
Literally.
Right. Like they thought they did something when they nominated Dynamite solely, but then ignored the rest of the album. Like, listen.
Yeah.
We can't play these games. We really can't. Because when the whole album charts, including the skit.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta talk. What are those songs written in like 5 minutes? And it's still charted. Now, we cannot disrespect that album. I feel like people pass by that so fast and it gets no respect.
Facts.
It doesn't.
Yeah, and it's also just exactly what you are saying, like the whole album, and it's just mind blowing to me that they only pick that two English songs. Like what? Like there are so many, and not that I don't like Permission to Dance and Butter and Dynamite because they are bops and will forever be bops, but there are so many songs of them that have a great meaning behind them and a really powerful message, and they are just being put put outside. Like no, that doesn't count because that's in a different language, and no, it doesn't count.
Speak on it.
Facts. Like,
It's so tiring. It is.
yeah.
Yeah, and I actually, it's gonna sound really weird, but I do really understand people now that were a little bit upset or mad about BTS doing, like, it's gonna sound very weird, another song in English because they only have like three or four or something like that. But I understand it now. I'm like, damn, I wish they would only do Korean songs just to taunt the Grammys. Like, the Grammys needs BTS. BTS doesn't need the Grammys.
Period. Yes. Facts.
Yeah, and I'm very happy for them that they are so happy about the nomination. And those boys, or sorry, those men deserve the whole entire universe. But it's just sad. Like I saw an army on Twitter, and she said like it's really saddens me because BTS will probably think that they are not working hard enough, and that's just completely rubbish. Like to make an artist feel like they don't do enough only because they don't get a Grammy, like it's insane to me.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad that an artist has to feel like they are somebody when they receive that golden instrument, even though many people have been passed up. And we've been seeing people who have been passed up plenty of times. They've spoken about it. Like we've all seen when Zayn and The Weeknd spoke on it.
Yeah.
Two of the most talented guys we've seen in the last like decade, and they've been ignored multiple times. Not once, multiple times.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel right. And also, when you know Eminem speaks on it,
Mm-hmm.
he don't say much unless something really goes down. He not lying.
Yeah.
He didn't. They have their favorites. They have the people that they want to have. They already know what they want. BTS does not fit that description. Does not matter that they had the top two albums last year. Does not matter that every song charts. It doesn't matter. They just don't have the look that they want. That's part of the reason why, and I'm not stomping on this girl or her talent, but Olivia. That's why she was nominated for so many things. And she's looking like the it girl right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Butter popped, I forget which one of her songs. I think it was Good for You. No, Driver's License, one of the two. 8 to 9 weeks. Those two battle it out for the 1, 2 spot, and Butter was at the top every time.
Yeah.
Every time. And somehow, Butter got less. Less. It just
Yeah,
doesn't sit right in my soul. And I'm not negating the girl's talent. What I am saying is, by doing this to her, by setting her up like that and putting her in these big categories with other artists who literally you're just gonna pick anyway, you're setting her up right now. And
Yeah,
it's kind of sad because now you made these two songs in that one album that she just put out the standard for her.
Yeah.
That is her standard
yeah,
now. She has to top Sour. She has to top Driver's License because TikTok, the Grammys, and some of these others on the internet have made that her standard. So when she puts out her next album, if it don't do Sour numbers or her lead single doesn't top Driver's License, what is she after that? It's
yeah,
just
and
Olivia, who had a good first album.
yeah,
Fast
that's
forward because
actually
she got
very
lost
sad.
potential.
Yeah,
I feel bad for her. I do. She's in categories with Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, Silk Sonic. What is she supposed to do with that?
yeah, and I really think the girl has talent because, to be honest, I have nothing against her. I like her songs. I listen to her music as well.
Same.
I really think she's a great artist. But indeed, what you just said, like they are basically like setting her up a little bit because she does have standards now. And the thing about the Grammys, what sucks is that it's like 30 or 50 men in a room that listened to a song and were like, yeah, let's just pick this. And that's the thing about the Grammys. It can be, and I'm not saying that it is, but I will sort of say that it is. It can be rigged very easily.
Yeah.
Because if I were an artist and I would pay 10 of those 50 men that are sitting in a room all like 50,000 euros and say, just put me in anywhere, doesn't matter where, just give me a Grammy nomination, I would be 100% get up to get a nomination. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just a setup. Like who are these 50 men to decide what is good music and what isn't, and what is Grammy worthy and what is not Grammy worthy? It just blows my mind.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Be- because if there was like a person that or if one of those men has children of or whatever, and those children are like 14, 15, 16 years old, or maybe older, it doesn't matter, age doesn't matter, but if that person's daughter was really a big fan of any of the artists like Olivia or anyone else, then it can also be rigged. Like, oh, please, Dad, make sure this and this and this. Oh, yeah, no problem, honey.
Yeah.
Like, it just sounds so rigged.
Yeah. I've honestly never thought about that for a second. The fact that they have possibly have children who can influence how they think because of what's possibly playing in their house or things like that.
Yeah, and everybody has a different taste in music. So what sounds good to me doesn't have to sound good to you. And I'm like, if you really want to understand music very well, you have to be able to make it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's just random that a few dudes can sit in a room and just decide like, yeah, that sounds good, let's go with that. Or it's just really crazy in my mind, and I would really like to know how those voting things work and stuff like that, because maybe I'm super wrong, maybe I'm super wrong, but in my mind, and like everybody portrays it to be, it's just a few men in a room deciding what's good music and what's not. But do they actually have knowledge about music, or is it just their opinion?
Right. Right. Exactly. I'm glad that you brought that up because yeah, for it's like for me, it's just like I don't like the process of how they do it as it is. But on that spectrum, it's like, do they actually really listen to music if it's like do they listen to all entirety and not just one like single genre or everything like that. And so that also really comes into mind too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Anybody who's sitting in that room deciding on anything needs to be extremely open minded. Like listening to, alternative, rock, pop, everything. That way you're not closed minded to other genres. You're not just listening to it like, oh, well, it sounds okay, so I guess we'll pick that. Or this
Yeah,
person's got a big name in the industry, we'll pick them. No, 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 no. No.
and the thing what really bothers me as well is that it's like they are so secretive about the process, what happens behind the scenes at the Grammys, and we have made our voice very clear, and other fandoms as well, because like the weekend was robbed and last year and this year again. Like it's really crazy that they don't listen to the fans. They just do whatever the hell they want to do. Like they are not listening. And that just blows my mind, because you really need to have us in order to make your little award show big. Like the comparisons of when BTS nominee or the category came up, and then right after they didn't get it, the views dropped in millions.
Yep.
Like, just listen to your audience. And we are not saying, it's gonna sound very rude, because I don't want to say like you have to give everything to BTS, because no, not at all, because there were a lot of great artists in those categories as well that
Yeah.
I very much appreciate and look up to. So I
Exactly.
don't say give anything to BTS, but give everybody a fair chance.
Exactly.
That's all we want. Just listen.
Exactly. I agree 100%. 100%. Because even like with the nominees this year too, like some of those, I'm like, that's a really good competition too, because they also had a big year too. Like for example, Doja Cat, she had a really good year this year.
Yeah.
She really had a good year, and I know she's in the same category as BTS with Butter, and I'm like, I think that's really like one of the only few competitions that I see, because both did so well this year. Both did super freaking well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
And
I can't sit here and lie and say that Justin Bieber didn't do well, because the dude pulled numbers.
Yeah.
I think certain songs did well than others. I think they're in the category with Justin in the duo pop performance category. His song "Lonely."
Mm-hmm.
And all that song did fairly well. I don't know. At some point in time, even if they don't like the song in particular, it kind of just goes to who's holding the name down right now.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
It just depends. It really just depends. And even if it is BTS, it's like, well, what do we look like letting these Korean dudes win? It's like,
Yeah, and the thing is, they make themselves so suspicious, and if they were just being very transparent about anything that happens behind the scenes, how the songs are chosen, like how that process is going, we would maybe understand why they are not nominated for some of the titles. Like, just be transparent, because if you are honest, we are more than willing to listen, but you just don't listen and do everything exactly the same as that you always have been doing them, and we are just sick and tired of it.
Yep.
Like, to be honest, I don't even know if I want to watch the Grammys, or if they have a very clear timestamp, like, okay, BTS's category is gonna be up at 6 a.m. or whatever. I will only watch that moment, and for the rest, I'm sorry, no. Like, you don't deserve my view. Like, Absolutely not.
Exactly. I agree. I wasn't even planning on even wanting to watch the Grammys after the shit that happened the past couple months ago. The last Grammys. Like, I don't want to be drained mentally and emotionally, and they don't deserve my damn view. That's there's that. And on top of that too, making us wait until almost the fucking end to see them perform on top of that too. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, no. The only time that I would even watch it is, you know, if their category is announced. Other than that, they win, awesome. They don't, okay, bye. Literally, like,
Yeah,
I
but
don't want to sit
for
through.
sure.
I don't want to watch it. Regardless of whether their award is being showcased, they're performing. I can't bring myself to watch because all they do is brag about, oh, our view shot up to like 11 to 12 million and blah blah blah, and it's like there's a reason for that. It's not the people you continuously let win these awards. No, no, no. It's the people that you told no.
yep,
It's them. Because no matter how big some of these other people are in these other categories, somehow they can't get you to these same numbers. And it's surprising how no one wants to watch these shows, Taylor, Justin, or anybody else. It's surprising. It takes
Yeah,
BTS to get you here, even though you have so many other superstars in this show. So what's the problem?
literally.
yeah, and
What's the problem?
it's just because they are so old-fashioned. They just don't want to listen. They want to do everything the exact same as 50 years ago, and they people grow, and they also need to grow with the people. Like, and that's something that they don't understand. And seriously, if I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna watch it through Twitter, through one of our beloved cooking show streamers.
Yeah,
And
yep,
yeah, I'm just gonna watch it there. Like, but I just think it's very sad. And to be very honest, I watched the first or the last Grammys. I watched it, and I even put on a very nice gown. Me and a few girls from Twitter were like video calling each other, and we did our hair, we did our makeup, we really dressed ourselves up, and the night ended in me crying my eyes out, and not because they lost, because I could see the the disappointment in their eyes.
yeah,
And even the sentence that Namjoon said, like, I told you, like, he already knew, but still there he had some hope. And just to see that hope getting rid out of somebody's eyes that you truly, truly care about just sucks so much.
yeah,
Um, it was hard
And
to
I'm
watch.
yeah, and to be honest, I really, really believe in BTS, and I really believe that they are up for a win. But I'm also very afraid that we have to relive this moment, like
yeah,
yet last year crying
yep,
and being so sad, that we have to relive it again. Because if I look to all the nominated songs and all the nominated duos and stuff like that, I, to be honest, I think it's pretty likely that BTS doesn't get it. So
mm-hmm,
it's just heartbreaking at this point. I'm like, why do they? Yeah, it's really weird because I understand why they want a Grammy, because the Grammy is like one of the biggest honors you can get in music.
yeah,
But I would rather have them perform and win everything at MoMA or shows in Korea than in America. Like, America is just a difficult country in my mind. I just don't get most of the stuff, and the
yeah,
I
Grammys is
don't
one of
either.
them.
I don't either, and I live here.
Same.
Yeah, that says a lot. Like,
Yeah, it's just the award shows operate like how life is outside of the award show, like reality. People are treated a certain way for what they
yeah,
are, how they look. I'm not gonna call anyone racist, but I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Just say we'll pick and choose who they want, and when they took out certain categories from the show last year, which were R&B and hip hop, that said a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Said a lot.
yeah. And the thing is, I'm not somebody that can talk about racism in a sense of I'm like on the white side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I can really imagine how much anger sorry, I don't really know how to say it in English, but um, it woke up like a lot of anger in people, and I totally can understand why, because you just take one specific sort of people and just throw them all out. Like, we don't need that. But then let people of color perform, because they know that most people of color that are artists are amazing. They have great lyrics, they perform well, they have beautiful voices, and it's just not fair. So I can really understand why people got so freaking mad about that whole part. Like, it's just not okay.
Plus, on top of
Yeah.
that, too, like, if they lose again, like, in this next upcoming Grammy, the past year with the last Grammy, the amount of disgusting comments and racist comments that came
Yeah.
after they lost is what I'm really, really nervous about.
It was bad. It was so bad, and I can only imagine if it happens again, it'll be worse this time.
Yeah, that's what I'm really afraid about.
And the part that makes me sad is that half of those comments were coming from people who were K-pop stans as well.
Yeah.
They were talking bad about another Korean group while having a Korean idol in their profile picture or on their account. And it's like, hey, whoa, like, time out. Y'all are sitting here agreeing with and kissing the ass of somebody that does not care about you or the band that you have lifted up for years. Years. Like, you know the potential of Twice. You know the potential of Blackpink or whoever. You know their potential. And yet, the Grammys has not looked in their direction. Not once. Not once. And yet, you still go along and you clap behind all these other artists who have been nominated, even though you aren't a fan. You just like the fact that they are getting more than BTS because you don't like armies. And it's
Yeah,
weird.
exactly. Yeah, and
Weird.
let's be honest, army Twitter and armies in general can have a very toxic side, but what
Mm-hmm.
people forget is I've been in a lot of fandoms. Like, I am still in the fandom from Demi Lovato.
Right.
Like, I'm still a Lovatic, but the things that people don't realize is that every fandom has a toxic side, but because armies are in the millions, it seems like we are the most toxic fandom ever, but that's completely not true, because we are, I'm going to say weird numbers, but for example, we have 40 million BTS fans and 20 million Demi fans. That
Mm-hmm.
would still be the same amount of toxic, but because we are with 40 million, so 20 million more, it's gonna seem like, oh, that's a toxic fandom. And I'm also so sorry to bring this up, but I'm also so tired of that this whole BTS or armies against Blink conversations. Like, just
Oh,
appreciate music.
thank
I
you.
will be very, very honest. I like Blackpink. I like their music, but it's just ridiculous, this whole fight and nitpicking over something like a Grammy nomination or stuff like that. Both groups are good in their own way. They make different kinds of music. I enjoy them both. I but the thing is, um, I don't really want to stand Blackpink only because of a lot of reactions that you can get from armies if you are very open about, hey, I also listen to Blackpink, then you are like done in this fandom. And I just want that whole beef to just rest and just be happy for your artist and the person that you want to stand without people bringing each other down. It's like ridiculous in my mind. So
Uh,
tired of it.
I 100% agree with you because I'm in that state too. Because there's a lot of other groups that I really, really like. And it's just like sometimes they go at it with Army. And I'm just like, why? What is the purpose? Like, they're all doing what they love, which is making music, seeing you guys, seeing their fans, and everything like that. Music is music. They're really appreciated in their own ways and everything like that. And it makes me really mad because it's just like there's one where I'm like, I am open about it, but not to the point where I'm like, I'm definitely like out there about it. And it's just like, it sucks because, of course, every fandom obviously has their toxic people. Every fandom does. And everything like that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, at the end of the day, it's just music. We're here to enjoy the music, and that's what makes us happy. Why spend so much time going at it with someone who's somewhere on their computer or on their phone on the internet for what? What are you gaining out of all of it? Because honestly, it just looks like you're not getting a single damn thing, like, at all.
Yeah, I always keep in the back of my mind, like, if I were an artist and people would talk about me the way that I sometimes see people talk about other artists, I'm like, come on. No, treat people the way that you want to be treated, and you never know if they see it, yes or no. We always have that joke in the army fandom, like, oh, Namjoon has a secret private Twitter account where he can see tweets from armies. And maybe that's true. You would never know if they would actually see the hate comments or the death threats or the racism. Like, you never know. Just treat people the way that you want to be treated.
Amen.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, to that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's overwhelming, and to kind of get off of what they can and cannot see, some people do a little too much in this fandom. It is
Mm-hmm.
one thing to appreciate them. They are good looking, but some people go way too far in terms of over sexualization.
I
Like
agree.
it, it gets really grimy sometimes, and it's like today. I'm not gonna repeat what they said, but just know that we talked about the lower half of Namjoon's body when they were talking about Mono,
Uh huh.
and they were kind of reiterating the lyrics, saying, "Oh, I've got a big thing," and and then they tried to like soften it up. Somebody said Yoongi, and then they were like, "Well, I have mental health issues, but here I am doing this, this, and this," and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, where where do y'all get off treating them like that?
Yeah.
You're talking about their body parts like any kind of way. You're also bringing up a very sensitive topic against Yoongi that he has openly talked about before,
Mm-hmm.
and even made a song about, and you turn around and you say that. That
Wow. Okay.
that is disturbing. I'm not gonna. That's something that some people can just find, but I'm not gonna sit here and like link it to you guys or anything like that because it would need a warning. It would need some serious like I don't want anyone to get so into it and have a bit of like I don't know
Right.
how to express what I'm saying, but like I don't want anybody to get upset trying to read that. But what I am saying is some people go way too far trying to be funny.
I agree.
Yeah,
Just be funny.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't care if they're almost 28, 30. I don't care how old they are. You are playing with some grown man's body, mindset, clout.
Yeah, that just really sucks. And it's also like I'm gonna be very honest. I have thought or um talked about BTS and sexuality in a matter like I do find them attractive, and if some of those boys, for some reason, ever want to take me home, I wouldn't say no. But I do it in a private DM. Like, don't. It's okay to make a little bit of joke and stuff, saying like, "Oh, I really think he's sexy," or stuff like that. But some
Yeah.
things can go really, really far. Just do it in private. Like, you have DMs for a reason, use them.
That and
Right.
just learn your boundaries as a fan too. While we're at it, learn your boundaries as a
Yes,
fan.
it, yes, exactly. And also on the mental health part, I'm a very, very big, yeah, I don't want to say spokesperson, but I talk about mental health a lot. And to to see people degrading it like that or just using it to make a point or to just be funny is just a
That's not
joke.
cool.
It's just not okay. Like, I have mental illnesses myself, and I swear to God, you wouldn't want to trade with me even for 5 minutes because you would claw your freaking eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so difficult, and I think one of the things that made me fell in love with BTS so much is just because they are so honest with us and tell us when they don't feel good and that they struggle with mental health, even when they are the biggest artists in the world and get paid millions of dollars. Like, they also struggle, and I think it's so important that they say that. And for some armies to make that into a joke is just no, no. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, it definitely crosses the line. That's a definite for sure. Which kind of also reminds me, from what I heard, there are some TikTok armies that think that the Love Yourself campaign, the tours and the albums, all that merch, was only for capitalism. As in, they're only doing it for the money.
Money. For the money. Strictly for the money. I screenshots, even saw it personally. That is by far the most ignorant thing. I I still don't know what to say about that. Like, really? Really? So they're just gonna take the time to tell us their feelings and cry giving speeches because money? Money.
That.
I,
Ugh.
I wanna know, like, can people not be people? Can people not do things nice? Like, and I'm not saying anything bad. Just a quick disclaimer because I love me some Harry Styles, but when nobody questioned Harry when he had the treat people with kindness merch, had a whole tour, did all this, anybody say anything to Harry? Nothing. People loved that Harry was doing that, but
Yeah,
them doing a Love Yourself tour, having merch and albums was a problem? it was for money now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they sold albums, they sold merch, but people were wearing those things. They felt great. People were learning more about themselves. Listen to those albums to feel wonderful about themselves.
Exactly.
Those
Yeah,
tours really spoke to people, and at the end of most, if not a lot of the shows, they would take the time to speak to their fans and truly let them know how they felt about them. And for y'all on TikTok to sit here and say, "Oh, it's all for the money," y'all, who are
yeah.
y'all standing?
But
Like, who are you a fan of? Because it's not BTS. Like,
yeah,
I
and
don't even know.
the thing what people don't realize is take any artist. Some will ask less for merch, some will ask more for merch. But what people don't understand is that they need to pay the venue to play there. They need to pay their staff, they need to pay their dancers, they need to pay the decor. Like,
Yep.
and we all know that BTS loves to bring them all. Like the stages are insanely big, the props are insanely big. Like people don't really realize what it has to take and how much money a tour costs.
Facts.
Like they don't have any clue. My boyfriend worked in the entertainment industry,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Oh yeah, there are 6 lamps hanging from the ceiling, and they cost like 200 euros a piece for freaking 6 lamps."
Yeah.
Like it's insane the amount of money. Like maybe they get 20% of the whole tour, and the other 80% goes to making sure the staff is all right, eating, drinking. Like it's it just doesn't make sense to me. Like how would they do it for the money? Because every artist asks money for merch, tickets, and whatever.
Yep.
Right.
They even cancelled their whole freaking tour. I'm 100% sure that the cancellation of the tour cost them millions and millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Which artist that doesn't care about their fans or about their staff or whatever would just cancel the whole tour? The stadiums were paid for, the dancers are, I think, paid for. Like, if they really didn't care about their fans, they wouldn't do it. They would just do it anyways.
I'm glad that you brought that up too, because people fail to realize what actually goes down when it comes to holding the tours and these concerts and everything like that. Like, I'm glad that you brought that up, because
Yeah,
people
but
are
for
trifling.
real.
People are freaking trifling. But speaking about when someone mentioned about Harry, apparently when Jungkook uncovered Falling, which was amazing, I literally cried and was speechless.
Mm-hmm.
A quiet bit of his fandom was being very, 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 very disrespectful. I
Yeah.
I was glad that I didn't see any slander on my timeline, because I know there's some people that I do follow that also really like Harry Styles. Like, I like Harry Styles as well. He did that cover. Jungkook really did that cover really well. It sounded amazing. Like,
It got disrespectful when armies crack jokes. Like, it's like, yesterday when Beethoven was getting a bunch of nominations,
oh my gosh.
and people were like, "Oh, Beethoven? Have you heard producer Yoongi?" No one meant that Yoongi was better than Beethoven. They were not
Right.
being serious. But when Harry's cover, well, not Harry's cover, I am so sorry. When Jungkook's cover of Harry's song came out, people were jokingly calling it Jungkook's song. And some Harrys were like, oh, they were more focused on the actual cover than the joke, but other Harrys were starting to come down on Jungkook as a person, not the cover, but him. That's what was disrespectful. Like, if you don't like the cover because people are starting to call the song his, understandable, that's disrespectful. But you coming down on Jungkook, him as an individual, because because fans of him are starting to crack jokes. That's a lot, because over the last like week or so, people have talked about only holding fans accountable for things that happen and not group when things are going on between fans.
Mm-hmm.
So when fans get into it, they shouldn't be involved. Understandable, it really shouldn't be that way. So for so when y'all are coming so down hard on, yeah, coming down so hard on JK for no reason, it gets to the point where people start getting protective, or they go even harder with the jokes. Because, not gonna lie, that song started trending because of that cover. Not to say that it wasn't because, no, Harry and his flavor didn't snatch that, up. It's just, the song hadn't trended in a while, so when it did because of Jungkook, people were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
everyone should have come down on him because people were cracking jokes. No one should have been like that, because Jungkook really, really likes Harry.
Yeah.
Proof, he was at the concert.
Exactly.
We all saw it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think they also need to see it not just because it's Jungkook, but any others in general. When somebody covers your music, it's just insane, because that's like a very high level of respect towards the person that you did a cover of.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I listen to your music, I appreciate you as an artist, and I like the song so much that I really wanted to cover it myself. Like, it should be an honor. And the thing with Twitter is people are getting offended very, very quickly. And I don't appreciate all jokes. Like, some armies did go really, really far, and I was like, okay, yeah, yeah, like in particular, I also saw people or armies telling like, "Oh, it's Jungkook's song," and I found that, to be honest, even if it was a joke, I find that very disrespectful towards Harry.
Right.
Like, no, he did a great cover of the song, but it's not his song. Like, that's just disrespectful, and people really need to know their boundaries. Like, some things are funny, some things aren't. And we are at a time and place that people really don't know anymore what is funny and what isn't funny.
That's true. That's 100% true.
Yeah, offense can come in any form. It just makes people not want to say anything, because it's too much. Like, I understand that they didn't like the fact that it was being called Jungkook's song, and I completely understand. But if you just didn't like the cover and you just decided to be disrespectful, okay, wait. That's when you gotta slow your roll. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't need to attack him personally, because he didn't do anything wrong. What he did was show his respect to an artist that he really loves, and he loved that song so much that he thought, "Oh, I want to make a cover of this." So it's weird that the person that did actually nothing wrong gets attacked and not hold the people accountable that were the problem in this situation.
Right, right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm going to be very honest. I struggle with that a lot also, because sometimes I post something and I delete it right away because I'm like, oh, maybe that's offensive to somebody or whatever. Like, since my account grew a little bit bigger, I really, really need to think like twice before posting something.
Right.
And that's because you can get attacked for any reason. The last time like I made a funny meme about J-Hope, the picture that was taken from him, that he is with his arms or with his open hand to people, like saying hi or something, I don't know. And I put a funny text on it, and I wrote my name on his hand, like I made the text. I posted it and I got attacked immediately, like, why do you put your username on the photo when you didn't take the photo? And I was like, oh, damn, okay, jeez, chill out. Like, it wasn't to discredit the person taking the picture, but if a picture on Army Twitter gets shared 1 million times, how can I find out, like, where the picture is coming from? Like, it's just not a thing anymore. And
Right.
that's the thing with Twitter in general. People get offended really quickly, and you don't know which tweet can be offensive and what not. Because even, this is the stupidest thing that I will ever say, but even when I text or do my good morning tweets, I will like think, maybe I shouldn't post it because somebody could get offended because they don't have a good morning. Like, it's crazy.
Get it though. Somebody would actually like come under that post and be like, "Well, what if my morning isn't that great?" It's like,
Yes,
all
exactly.
right, well,
Yeah.
not for me,
So,
but I get it. I got it.
and that's the thing. I really think we all, both fandoms had toxic people in it, and both fandoms had like a big impact or input in this big fight that happened. And I'm like, just hold yourself accountable. Like, I get that you want to make a joke about it be Jungkook's song, but just think about it twice before posting it. And the same goes for the other fandom. Just think about it. Or what I really don't get is, if you see a tweet that you don't like, just DM the person with, hey, listen up, I didn't think this was funny. Why are you being like this? Like, just talk it out. Be a grown up. Like, it's not that hard. Why do we have to attack each other about stuff like that? Like, come on.
Exactly. I agree with that. Handle it through DMs, handle it privately. Like, honestly, I think for me, it's just kind of gotten to the point where I'm kind of sick and tired of the word accountability, because the main people, a lot of people that would try to use it, they don't actually take accountability. And it's gotten to
Yeah.
the point where people are just throwing that word out just loosely, and it makes me mad. And I think throughout this year, and especially last year too, like, there's a lot of things where I can't, you know, it gets annoying where I'm like, people just use it so loosely, and just, it makes me just aggravated, because I know that that's not gonna happen. And it's just, I don't know, it's just frustrating. It really is. And so half the time too, it's just like, I half the time I'm not really on my Twitter much, because of just some of the bullshit that I see going on. And it's just like, I'm not going to be a part of that at all. I'ma cleanse my mind, because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. I also have a lot of periods of time where I'm like, okay, maybe Twitter is not the best for me right now, because the fandom and Twitter in general, or any fandom, I like predict if I can handle Twitter on first tweet I see. Like, if I see something like, and you should have never told this about this, or, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to see the timeline today. I will do my good morning tweet and just go on with my day, because sometimes it can get really toxic. And I even considered a good amount of times to, like, just remove my ass from Twitter and just deactivate.
Right, because it can get that toxic, and that's what's sad, and it's disappointing, especially to a point where people can like dox your information too, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's frightening, honestly, and it shouldn't even get to that level at all.
No, it shouldn't. It just goes way too far sometimes. That's why I'm very protective of my address, for example, and stuff like that, because I did a Christmas card thing where I sent a few people Christmas cards and everybody wanted to send them back to me, and I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry, but it's not gonna happen, because if you tweet one thing wrong that they don't like, they will blast your address
Yeah,
through the air like it's nothing.
yeah,
And it's just privacy in general. It's very hard sometimes to be on Twitter. Like, I'm very grateful because I met a lot of great people like you too. But it can also be very scary, and there are things on the internet that you don't want anybody to experience, like racism. Or I also see a lot of tweets um, about I will give a trigger warning if that's okay, but
yeah,
like people that are very sad and maybe want to take this step to end their lives or hurt themselves or whatever. It's like so many things on the internet you don't want to see or to relive or whatever, and it just sucks. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but did you to get like the girl who used okay, by the way, another trigger warning, but sexual assault to make a point clear, but then in the end got exposed that she didn't get assaulted?
yeah. I read about
Yeah, I
that.
think they ended up. Was it the clip they found on YouTube?
YouTube, I
Was
think
it?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah, we all watched that play out.
yeah, and I was at work at the time, so I didn't see a lot. And it's just, if you want to use your voice, use it good. Like, I know there are people getting sexual assaulted every freaking minute of the day, but that was just too far, in my opinion. It was just too far. Just another thing on the list with Twitter things that I don't appreciate.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. That's such a serious matter that you shouldn't gain clout off of, because there have it's like I there are people who basically do unfortunately have to go through something that traumatic like that. And I remember that day I had to be off of Twitter because that really set me off. That
Yeah.
entirely set me off. And I was like, nope, I can't. I need to get off. I need to let off some steam. Not do it on
Yeah.
Twitter. It's just.
Yes.
That day, so many spaces were going on because, just for anybody who doesn't particularly know the story, there was a copyright group on Facebook that was trying to get a bunch of Army Twitter accounts taken down because they felt like BTS wasn't the best influence because they thought that they were gay and so on and so forth. Now, what their sexuality had to do with anything, I don't know, but we'll leave that with their toxic masculinity or whatever is going on. But there were also a lot of spaces going on to talk about it. Um, in general, people were talking about how to deal with some of these issues in Bangladesh. That's where this was going on. And all of a sudden, this account just popped up, started talking about, and another trigger warning, talked about how they had gotten their book bag taken from them. It was a BTS book bag. They claimed it was a BTS book bag, and that they told that they were going to be assaulted sexually if they did not stop supporting the group. They even had a picture of her hand, a bruise on it. and they kept us all updated. I was one of the people watching it all happen. I even hoped that they were okay, commented multiple times. And then there were pictures of people being arrested and a mini clip as well. And it was supposedly a she saying, "Oh, we got him, they've been arrested." And then all of a sudden, random accounts started quoting with YouTube links of those same exact pictures, which were screenshots of a crime show. Apparently, that happened in Bangladesh or somewhere in a different country that they were using. And everyone was just shocked because that person gained 10,000 over gained up to 10,000 followers. Over 8,000 had started following them after that incident just to check to see if they were fine. And it was horribly it was just sad to watch that happen because so many people were genuinely trying to support them, and they were tricking people for follows, to clout chase, just to have attention. And it was very upsetting because then they tweeted out something along the lines of something didn't work out, or have a nice day, and then their account was just gone. And so many people were just angry because some people started to negate other armies who were genuinely posting stories that were true, which you should never do. If someone is genuinely putting out PSAs or trying to help others or showing you genuine incidents of what is going on in their country, please do not ignore them because someone else has lied. Because some people genuinely need help. And I'm not just talking about Bangladesh armies, I'm talking about anybody from anywhere at any point in time could need help. Please do not negate them trying to ask for help just because of someone else.
Yes, I 100% agree.
I agree.
Yes, exactly.
It was a lot. The situation is over, so no one has to go looking for that. But please know that if any other armies ask for your support, it is okay to ask questions and want to know more about the situation, but you don't have to flat out call someone a liar as soon as you see something just because someone else led you astray.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Please
And yeah,
be kind to those that you call family, because that's what we are. We support each other for that reason. So please just ask questions, but also be kind, and also find out about the situation before you push someone away. So
yes, exactly. And in my opinion, it's not only in situations like this, but I also see like a lot of people tweet like I'm having such a hard time right now, or I feel really sad or something like that. And so many people are ignoring that just to reach out to them. Again, treat people the way that you wanted to be treated. It's a cry for help. They
Yeah.
just want people to listen to them. The same is with this story. Like, just because someone lied doesn't mean that things are not happening.
Exactly.
right.
Yeah, it's just really sad. Yeah. Mm.
Um, there was a topic that I forgot to. I was like just jumped. Um, but there was a topic I forgot to talk about when we were in the land of the show losing popularity. I'm not gonna say that name again because we know who it is. Just know who it is. But it's still currently voting season and stuff like that. We're all in the mix of, having voted for certain things, still voting for certain things. And when we were talking about certain artists, I wanted to mention something that is very, that a lot of people talk about, and it should be highlighted right now. And certain fandoms tend to form alliances when it comes to streaming and voting. I feel like, and this is just my solid opinion, that is not a good idea. I'll explain real quick, and then the floor is open.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I believe that's not a good idea is because let's real quick we gonna use old girl again, Olivia. She came out this year with songs, album, shot up, dreams. She was, having people back her up in voting. That's all well and good until she gets involved in the iHeartRadio show and they're having a hard time sorting that out. When you get other people to try to stream for the artist, they go viral on an app, it does not translate to you having more fans. It just translates to the fact that the song had some popularity to it. So when it came time to really see how popular she was, it got slightly embarrassing. Because, again, girl's talented, but people were not showing up for her the way that they should have been. On top of that, when it comes to voting season, a lot of people try to gang up on armies by voting in masses. So they'll team up with other fandoms to try to compete with us. And whether or not they succeed is a back and forth battle that will keep going on for I don't know how long. But I feel as though voting alliances aren't good because the moment, let's say, Taylor stands and Olivia stands are in the same category together, those two fandoms now have to compete even though they were just in alliance last week. That then becomes awkward because they will not keep standing up for you because they will always put their artists first. Mm-hmm. Every time. Y'all trying to vote together will always have a flaw in it when it comes time to having to compete against each other. I don't think some people realize that when tensions start riding or people have to compete for chart spots, sales, streams, anything else. I don't think people really think that through, but because they're trying to compete with armies and BTS, it doesn't matter at that point in time. But it's like, I don't know.
Right.
Thoughts?
I think it's just I didn't really get it, especially if they're trying to if they have the sole purpose of wanting to make sure that, BTS lose and everything like that. It's just really kind of the sense of I just question it entirely. But I know, like you just said, if they get nominated in the same category, they're gonna go for their number one. Their number one listening, their number one person that they listen to. They're not gonna do the let's form an alliance and try to get this many votes in to take this certain group or whoever down or whatever the case is. So it's just I've always found it weird a little bit.
Yeah, same. On some point I get it, but I see this forming alliances to BTS or any artist in general. I just think it's another way to make very, very clear that you hate the other artists or that you don't stand them at all and you just don't want them to win. It's just, in my mind, it's just another hate campaign against the artist.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it just doesn't make sense. And not to offend the other fandoms, but every time they do this, I just laugh my ass off just knowing that they, even when they are with 5 fandoms, they can't win.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, like I can get why they do it, but it's also like you have to realize that at some point they're gonna have to go up against you, and at that point they don't care about you. They care about themselves, and they'll do anything to beat you out. And that's when low blow tactics start happening, and
Yep.
well, we helped you out. What makes you think you're gonna win? See that's what starts happening, and
Yes.
it starts to become a lot. That's that the people always said that armies learn the hard way not to team up with other fandoms because then it becomes backstabbing. And I get it because you'll help someone one day or you'll give them both, but then they won't help you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the thing is
you learn that
also,
over years. Yeah.
yeah, and you also get a lot of comments like, BTS doesn't need to win everything. And yeah, I agree, they don't need to win anything because I think they know they already have one of the biggest prizes, and that's Army, and we have the biggest prizes in life, and that's BTS.
Yep.
And I just think that it's so degrading when you team up just to bring others down, and if you really, really they just, and the thing most of the times is that they don't actually hate BTS, but that they just have beef with Army and are like, okay, let's form an alliance, just bring out the fires and whatever, and it's just like, no, what are you even trying to do? Because not only, again, I'm so sorry to other fandoms, I don't want to offend you, but you are bringing yourself up to a real fight, because we know what armies can accomplish. Like, even if we only have 2 days left to vote and we are behind 30 million votes, we will get that 30 million votes. So you are just like maybe embarrassing yourself a little bit by even trying.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I totally get it. I get why they do that, but do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Like, if you see somebody in that category that you are a fan of, then just vote for them. And if it doesn't, or as it happens not to be BTS, fine. Just do whatever you feel like.
I
Right.
agree. I agree to that wholeheartedly. It's just like, just vote for your faves and don't drag other people down. And if your faves don't win, don't throw a fucking fit. There's always fucking next time too. And also, don't even degrade the winner of it either, because you're not gonna. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be any better either.
No, exactly. Like, there are so many great artists out there, and what every fandom needs to learn is that there is music beyond their favorites.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you can be a fan of a lot of different things, and that's also a thing that really happens on any Twitter. If you come out as a multi-stan, people will look differently at you, because
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to do that when you need to vote? Because sometimes, for example, tomorrow together and hyphen are in the same category. How do you vote? Like, does it even matter? Just vote for who you want to vote for.
Literally.
It's not that difficult. It doesn't change the person. People often think when they see multi-stands like, I don't like them because this and this and that, and I'm like, even if you like convert fandoms, because a friend of mine converted from ARMY to being a stray. Like, it doesn't change the person. She just lost her interest in a band. It's not like she totally, completely got a different personality. No, she just grew on from BTS, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to force anybody to stand people if they don't want to. Like,
Exactly.
I, to be honest, I really like BTS, and I really, really hope they get a lot more fans. But maybe even not, because concert tickets is gonna be a war zone.
Oh yeah.
So it's like good the way that it is right now, and I hope every artist gets just the recognition they deserve without other people bringing them or other people down.
I agree with
But
that.
to be said that, it's gonna be a dream. Like, I don't see it happening very fast.
Right.
That it's just the internet. It's just social media. Every platform has its rotten apples, and it will stay for that, or stay like that forever.
Yeah.
And the only thing we can do is, if we see tweets or jokes or whatever that we don't like, just confront the person in a kind way,
Yeah.
and not bring the people down in the comment section. Just DM them like, hey, I didn't understand the joke, or I don't think it's funny. Why did you do that? Like, we are mostly grown ups. And even when you are not a grown up, you know the basic rules and basic things to start a conversation.
Yep.
So, yeah, but it's hard.
Oh
Being a
yeah.
teen or a grown up or a child is just hard.
It really is.
Yeah, or being a teen grown up. I don't know. I don't know where I am right now. I'm like,
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like I know I'm grown because I'm in my 20s, but it's like my mentality sometimes just really be in high school. Not like argument wise, but like really act like I don't have bills or a car or need a job because I just need to lay down sometimes and just be on YouTube and act like nothing exists. That's my
Honestly,
high school mentality.
I honestly
Exactly.
feel that we are at the hour and 32-minute mark, actually, as we speak.
Oh gosh, really?
Yeah.
These go by so fast.
They really do.
Like
Like,
when we talked in the
oh,
second episode, people like surprised at how long it was, but once we start talking, it goes. It
Yeah.
goes fast.
yes, exactly. Wow. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, it's fun because we get into some serious topics. We really talk. We all have opinions, and we all like really get into it, so you don't notice the time. But
Yeah.
it's just nice to have a conversation and just have fun.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I, I really, really, really enjoyed this. You two are so, so kind and so sweet, so honest. I really, really appreciate that.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
Amy.
My gosh. We really do appreciate it, though. That really means a lot. And you are so kind and such a great person and everything like that. It's just. Ah!
Oh,
When
thank
you
you
want a
so much.
compliment, but you don't know what to say.
Me? Me right now?
Yeah.
It's like I want to compliment you. I just don't know what to say.
Honestly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Thank you
But
so, so much.
no
Yes.
problem. But since this is slowly starting to get to the almost 2 hour mark, we'll get to
Yes.
the last part of the shows when we usually ask the question of what song are you currently listening to? Like you just been feeling that song, you love it currently, it's just on repeat. What is that song?
I have to say it's Yours by Jin.
Ooh.
I have that song on repeat every day. His voice is just amazing. Like I love
Yes.
that song so much. So yeah, Yours by Jin.
Oh, his voice
That's a good
is
choice.
just wow, chef's kiss. My gosh.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. Like I don't want to start another topic, but he is so underappreciated, and his voice is just like an angel singing. Like
Absolutely.
I don't get it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Indeed.
Simone?
I wish
Hmm?
people really, really appreciate him a little bit more in terms of his voice. Sometimes he hits notes that I don't think people sometimes really realize he can hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll leave that there. What is my song of choice? I've been exercising for the last 2 weeks, so I've created like a little playlist. The
Uh-huh.
song that I always go to first is Telepathy. I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna lie, Telepathy is a great workout song, and I love that song right now. That is my song. I'm listening to it as soon as we get off this call.
Honestly, yeah, that's a really good song to work out to. Because I think a couple months ago when I was on vacation, I did do a workout, and that song came on, and it felt so good too. I'm like, yeah, motivation to work out.
Right. That motivation just don't be there. But then all of a sudden I hear like certain songs, like give me telepathy, give me UGG, and I'm ready. I'm
Exactly.
ready. I can do this.
Exactly. For me, actually, it's been Boys with Fun. That,
Okay. Yeah.
yup, that
Yep.
that.
Hmm.
Whenever I listen to it, I get so hyped, so hyped, and I'm just in a good mood while I listen to it. Just with the instrumentals, engineering for it entirely, like the song is up there. The song is up there. So that's been one of the main songs I've been listening to, like on a daily basis, basically.
Yeah. I remember seeing you tweet about that when I think I like randomly asked like what was everyone listening to, and you were like, "What's fun?"
Yup, that's a banger. That's forever a banger.
It is. It is.
It is.
But once again, thank you, Amy, for joining along with us. It was such a blast having you on. It really was.
Yes,
Oh,
we enjoyed talking mess, drinking tea, promoting your Etsy shop. We enjoyed all of it. We did.
yeah, really thank you again so much for even considering me to be a guest. I really enjoyed it. Again, you two are so kind and so supportive, so I really appreciate it so much, and I really hope that your podcast will grow even bigger because this is just amazing to me. Like the way you bring armies together to listen to each other's story is just an amazing context. So I really hope you grow even bigger because you two deserve it, really.
Oh my gosh, my heart. Thank
Thank you.
you.
We really appreciate it. It's like I wanna express so many more things, but I feel like Denise, and I feel like I should just start screaming.
Honestly. But thank you for those who are watching the podcast as well. Make sure you give it a like, and we cannot wait for the next episode. So make sure you follow all our social medias. All of that will be in the description below. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye, y'all.
Bye.